Ready for a public service announcement, all you pot smokers. A couple things for you pot smokers. Number one, never put your pot in a tray going through a metal detector at a courthouse. True story. In Illinois, somebody puts their bag of pot in the tray that went through the metal detector at the courthouse as they were going to the courtroom to listen to a buddy's thing. So, not a good idea. Also, do not barter using homegrown pot trying to buy a Harley Davidson. True story. That was just out last week. A guy got busted for that. Anyway, Mr. Greg Willett, you are on deck. Now coming to the stage, a very funny man, the person who hosted this past weekend, ladies and gentlemen, Manitowoc's own, Chad Bonin.
How's everyone doing? Come on, make some noise. It's Monday night. We're not at work. We're drinking and having fun. There we go. I don't know when the rules of the social contract changed, but they have. And what I mean by that is when you go someplace to either get food or do something like get your car serviced, there's a social contract with the person working behind the desk. You don't know them, most likely they don't know you, and you're there for the service. I'll give you an example. This weekend I got my oil changed. I go to the quick lube, I drop my car off inside, the mechanic goes, oh, it'll be about 10 minutes. I go, great, thank you. I go in the office. Inside the office is about a 60-year-old lady, gray hair, and she seems very nice. She goes, hi. I go, hi, I have full service. She's like, oh, okay, it'll be about 10 minutes. And I sat down, and right before I was going to grab the newspaper and start reading, she goes, how are you? And politely back, I say, I'm fine, but then I made the mistake of saying, how are you? She gave me her life story in 5 minutes, and it was rapid fire, like she had an M16, it was this, she goes, well, I'm fine. But I'll be a lot finer when tomorrow's over. And I'm like, well, tomorrow's Easter. What's wrong with Easter? I have to work at Taco Bell. I have to work all day. I have to work 11 to 7 because I have to work at Taco Bell 40 hours a week because I need money because I have an OWI. And the only reason I got an OWI is because I had to get away from my crazy ex-husband in Milwaukee who was trying to kill me. And I'm like, wow, an OWI to get out of being killed. That's brilliant. I never thought of that. I'm putting that in my back pocket to save for like if that ever happens to me. And she's like, yeah, so I only work here part-time. I only get like 20 hours, so I'm at Taco Bell, but they only pay me $7.35 an hour at Taco Bell. Can you believe that? Fuck no, I can't believe that at all. They should pay more. And she's like, yeah, so I'm saving up all my money because I have a 2-year-old grandson, and he's just adorable. He's adorable. He's talking already. And I'm like, fuck, he's a fast learner. Good for you. And she's like, yeah, he understands when I talk to him. He understands. I told him, you can be anything you want when you grow up, and he's only 2 and he understands me. And I said, you just have to work really hard, stick with everything. And I'm like, he's 2, he just got done shitting in his diaper. Like, he's not planning to be a lawyer quite yet. And she's going on and on and on about her life story and how her son's a really good guy, but he got mixed up with the wrong woman who was an alcoholic, and then she sold meth. And I'm like, fuck, your family's crazy, but this is really entertaining, so keep going, because I don't want her to stop. And I'm trying to think of what's going on in her head when she sees me walking through the door into the office. The only thing that makes sense is that she looked at me and she said, wow, look at this guy with his average jeans and his shitty sweatshirt and his really bad and long haircut. He looks like a psychiatrist. He might be a psychiatrist. Maybe he's a psychiatrist. You know what I'll do? I'll wait till he sits down. I'll tell my whole fucking life story, and he'll have the answers to all my goddamn problems, because he looks like a really fucking nice guy. He probably really is. And I'm like, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can help with your problems. Don't fucking tell them to everyone that walks through the door. Do it like a normal person in this day and age and put them on fucking Facebook. So that's my rant with that. I have one more thing that bothers me, and it's guys that wear Affliction shirts that shouldn't. Not you. You're okay. You could probably kick my ass, so you're good. I'm talking about the 50-year-old, 350-pound, overweight guy that wears an Affliction shirt to a comedy club and has to bow up, you know, and look badass because he wants to be an MMA fighter. And I'm like, shit, man. Like, I would never wear an Affliction shirt to a comedy club because I would not wear a Star Trek t-shirt to an MMA fight. I wouldn't go to an MMA fight and be like, sit down next to one of the patrons and be like, hey, are you ready for the fight? And he's like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Like Brock Lesnar and Tito Ortiz. And I'd be like, I think Dr. Spock can take Brock Lesnar, you know, because he does the Vulcan neck pinch, and that would just be too much for Brock Lesnar. He would drop. And Dr. Spock would be the MMA heavyweight champion. That'd be awesome, don't you think? He'd probably try to make me tap out after saying that. I'm Chad Bonin, that's my set. Thanks a lot for coming out. You guys have a great night.